Hola a todos. Hello everyone. This is gonna be something different, new. I haven't done a live special, or for that matter, any live videos in a really long time. And I was thinking it was time to have a live special about the skin of the caterpillar, and that's why I'm going to try to go through it in English. It's almost 5:30 in Argentina. I'm in Buenos Aires at the moment. So I'm not sure if anyone's going to connect to this live special, but it doesn't matter. It's going to be recorded, so you can always watch it later and learn a little bit about this book I'm going to show you today. So I have two of them actually, because there are two different editions. So The Skin of the Caterpillar is the English version of my first published book, La piel de la oruga. It was first published in 2016 after winning a national poetry contest in 2015. So it's my first published book, and now there's the English version. It's available on Amazon, paperback, hardcover, and the ebook as well. It has a foreword by Carl Parkinson, an Irish poet, and this beautiful botanical art monotypes that were created by my dear friend, also an artist I admire, Laura Suez. So you're gonna find these beautiful drawings, which are actually made from actual plants and remains of nature. If you want to know more about her work and what you're going to find in this book, you can always go to my website and check out the blog. You can always subscribe to the blog as well. That's very useful. And I'm not going to be spamming you with loads of writing because I don't really have time to go through that very often, but once in a while I try to write on the blog. So this book is basically about grief. Caterpillars, butterflies, moths, the cycle of Lepidoptera. I love breeding and rearing Lepidoptera. I used to do that quite enthusiastically. I'm not doing it at the moment, basically because I'm living in Ireland and it's a little bit more complicated there and in my situation, and also because the main purpose when I do it is to help these species thrive and freedom, right? So I need to do it with species that are endemic of a specific place. So when I wrote this book, I was taking care of this Iacles imperialis opaca moths, the imperial moth, and going through a difficult time myself. So in this book I talk about grief, and I talk about metamorphosis and transformation, and how changing the skin is something that sometimes we need to do in order to move forward, in order to get rid of something that weighs on us, to step outside of that dead skin that might have been useful before, might have sheltered us, but not anymore. So in order to grow, we need to let it go. And that's obviously painful. So that's a very awful summary, but just so you get an idea of what the book is about. Now, I'm going to share some poems with you, just so you know what you're gonna find in this book. So, let's see. Chrysalis. Tangled in the threads of the other world that of thought, edgy, timeless, waving with my fingers the chrysalis in the air, soon to come, who is watching me from the inside? Myself, perhaps another me. And there you can see one of these beautiful botanical art monotypes by Laura Suez. Becoming another. That's one of the topics. Hello. Thanks for being here. I'm talking about this book, The Skin of the Caterpillar. I'm going to read this poem, The Sore. Yes, I'm in Argentina at the moment, but soon in Ireland. Stay tuned. So, The Sore. I know not why they besiege me, those first strands of dripping sunset on the corner, smeared, where I point out with my finger, right there, raging, sinking with the haste of a stroke that is repeated, but fails to touch me. It fails to hurt me to death. It burns in a dark place that I erase with my finger. It marks the void where the night falls under its own weight. I scratch into my head with the blade of my nail. I open the scab on the old sore, the one that grew from overthinking, digging tirelessly to extract myself from being in awe, breaking away from the bone cage I gnawed and licked till blacking out. Oh, it was so shiny. It sparkled like the gun under my parents' bed when I was a little girl. I caress and kiss it for good luck. I aim at the sun. When I shot, I turn it off. It is not there. It is dark. The moment after, on this night, I remember, then and now, let my hair down. I aim at my temple with my finger, a wet nail, red from scratching the never-healing sore. Aim and blow my brains out as if they were words, confetti, a piñata pierced like a skull, and not one drop of remorse for the crime that ties together in holy sacrament the victim and its murderer. So that was The Sore. See, The Skin of the Caterpillar comes with this. Just like the nymph, I also wove that black cocoon in the heart of the night, in the downfall. I braided the strands of my long hair around your fingers. They were moist after so much borrowing in my name, fallen into that crack of light that fused and parted your lips from mine. You did not wear a wedding band on that finger, but my strands, perhaps too fragile, still got turned out on the third twist. And I had to start all over again, as if I'd also fallen from the edge of your time. Just like the nymph, I also pulled my dress down slowly as the skin of the caterpillar sliding until it reached the tail-like ending announced a notion. And even then, just like her, with horror, I saw the pose, the dress, half undone as dead skin on my body, halfway unveiling the sensual tragedy of love when it does not end. That was the skin of the caterpillar. This is one of my favorite monotypes. I love these guys. There's a second edition for the Spanish original version, La piel de la oruga. It's also going to have some beautiful monotypes, botanical art monotypes by Laura Suez. But they're going to be completely different. It's going to be a totally different edition and it's going to be amazing. So I'm really excited about that. I can't lie. Let's see. The day after humans. We talked, not just to talk about the rain or suicide, but to make it a little less difficult while all that was hanging in the air. My elbows stuck to the surface of the plastic tablecloth. Those summer afternoons, the metallic drum roll on your fingers, defacing yet another old-fashioned song, catchy, sticky, like daytime. You said, the day after humans, lions would lie in the sun in Central Park. I thought freedom cost years of confinement. You also said that green would cover the roadways and weed would climb up the skyscrapers. I thought of the trees being felled because their roots were breaking the pavement and detours were dangerous. The day after humans, the sun begins its descent and the shadows on the water move the color of blood and tremble till they drown or learn to float. You said, I like to pretend it's the end of the world, to die for a while inside another woman's body. I thought the end of the world is every day for the lion that sees the sun fall from its cage, for the leaf that comes off the tree, and also for lovers and the rain pouring from their eyes the day after love. Okay, let's see one more. Okay. Yellow dust in the night wind. This one is dedicated to Zeus. This was, in Spanish, it would be Zeus. It was a wild moth, a wild male moth that came that time to mate with one of the moths I was rearing myself, right? So it's quite a special moment. There was this moth motel I had going on in my patio at the time. Yeah, I don't know if you don't want to know. The house was filled with yellow dust. It was autumn. The lights of the last day were beating on the window. I faked my own absence with a roar, ferocious as the ones who are skinned when blood boils and streets darken. I was holding the tremor between my fingers, animal in heat, when I brought the bodies together, the fragrance, the claspers of sex, until my hands got cramps with their soft sequence. You came, dodging the wires, a glider made of bone, of folds. You came to die inside your female, to spread your seed over the earthquake before falling to ashes or rags. But you couldn't, neither could I, find the veins of the leaves, the spell against oblivion. With a kiss that I blow between your wings, I return you to the air beyond your death. I caress the scar on the tree where you hid your soul, yellow as the bite of the flowers. I pour my eyes in the sky of fire, cadaverous pulp of older stars, like children who devour the flesh of their ancestors and their gesture. I tremble. You fade like the tree that disappears beneath its own shadow lying in the sun. I draw your trace on the poem's land. I open my hands. Yellow dust in the night wind. I see you fly. All right. Let's just do one more. And that's it for today, folks. Passage. A moth was dimmed, letting herself be strangled by the hours, clinging to the wall of the hospital ward where the bellies were about to open. I knew that even if she had to carry the weight of her agony, or perhaps because of it, she still remained part of the world. So when I touched her with my fingertips, I felt the sway of her body receiving me, human, in her insect being. Have I told you that before they die, when they have not mated, they lay eggs as empty as their wombs when they finish? She was at it when I laid her down on the palm of my hand, and hers was a body in a coma that recognized the skin with a silence so profound. Have I told you that their wings smell like dust accumulated on furniture after a very long absence? That it is vital to open your eyelids widely to see the inaugural leap that brings her back, an old newborn, to the caress of dusk, guiding her last flight back to earth? So, this is The Skin of the Caterpillar. I like to think of this English edition as an imaginary herbarium. I used to do that when I was a child, so I've always been very much into nature and plants and flowers and insects, animals in general, but I have a thing about insects, butterflies and moths. So this is the paperback edition. This is the hardcover edition. There is also a Kindle edition available. The art and they're botanical art monotypes. They were made by Laura Suez. So I hope you've enjoyed this live special. I hadn't done this in a while, so I'm sorry if it didn't go as great as I would have liked it to. But this is it. You can find this book on Amazon, print on demand on all its editions, and ebook. If you have any questions, just drop me a line. I'm here. Thank you for watching. Have a great day. Bye-bye.